How you guys doing?
What was the tape show on the Chargers defense, particularly against the run? What they kind of facing?
They're a great group. Obviously, Derwin, running around. They got him in a lot of different spots. So you gotta keep an eye on him. You gotta keep an eye on him. He can wreck the game. He's a great player. Been playing at a high level for a while now. So it's just going to be on us as an offense to make sure that we're on our alignments and assignments. But we also, like I mentioned, we got to just make sure we know where he's at, and we got to bring our A game every time. He's a high effort guy.
Are there games where, like, every team's physical, but, like, are there games like this where it's like the dial's at 10 for every game and it's at, like, 11?
Yeah, you definitely know every game is going to be physical, but like you mentioned, you watch a tape and you see certain teams that they fly around for 4 quarters. You got some teams that they'll fly around for a while, but after you continue to wear on them, they tend to kind of relax a little bit or fold. So this game is one of those ones they're gonna be playing for 4 quarters until that clock strikes 0. So you got to have that mentality going into this game.
Jonathan, you've maintained a high standard since you've been here. I wonder if you feel like you've taken your game to yet another level as a 3-down back, pass catching, pass blocking.
Definitely. You'd like to think every time you come into this building each and every single year, you were able to elevate your level of play via your work in the offseason and then continue that with training camp, putting it to actual use and an application of real football rather than just cones and things like that in the offseason. But that's what you want to do. And then when you get here, you want to be able to find a way to get better each and every single week throughout the season. It's not just an offseason thing. You have to find a way in order to elevate that level of play and sustain it as well. That's something that the greats have done, and when you talk to people in this building, you ask, like, man, how was he each and every single day? Especially, with Coach Reg was up close and personal to a lot of these guys, and it's like, man, he just came to work every day and found a way to get better.
JT, what does recovery look like for you during the week, considering the workload, and obviously you want to be as fresh as possible for Sunday?
For me, it starts right after the game. Right after the game, I'm immediately into the cold tub to try and halt and stop any inflammation that may set in until I can get home, and then add on top of that with red light, stretching, as well as hydration. And people don't understand there's no recovery modality that you can use to get around a great night of sleep. That's the ultimate, the number one recovery that you can do. So being in the bed by 9 o'clock, maybe not fast asleep, but just being off your feet, resting in bed by 9 o'clock to ensure that you get a full at least 8 hours of sleep, I think is a big thing for me.
Do you track like your sleep patterns and all that stuff?
Definitely. There's no way to find out your patterns unless you are tracking it. It doesn't have to be with, they have the rings or the watches, but even if you're just on a piece of paper writing down what time did you go to bed, what time did you wake up, you got to have some type of tracking modality to understand your habits and your patterns.
How obsessive do you have to be when you play your position with taking care of yourself, whether it's that or any other?
You have to be a little obsessive, because if not, it'll creep up on you. Those weeks will stack on you, and then once you kind of get that on your shoulders, it's hard to shake off. It's something you got to combat every single day, because like I mentioned, if not, week 7, week 10, week 13, it'll take a toll on you real fast. I think just the way he came in, grasped the system, but then applied it on the field at a high level. Usually, a guy comes in, he may understand the system. You got to work kinks out. There may be some miscues, miscommunication from day one. It's almost like he got the playbook before he even got here, because he was operating at a high level. So I just think a testament of the amount of work that he's put in to make sure he's prepared each and every single day, each and every single Sunday, to know what our operation is and how to go about doing that at a high level.
JT, you're going back to SoFi Stadium, obviously different fan base and different opponent, but famously loud environment there. How do you describe the nonverbal communication with Daniel and how you guys have really dialed that up?
Like you mentioned, we really dialed it up, because usually those are tough environments. You're in the huddle, it's hard to hear. You're right, in front of the quarterback trying to hear what he's saying. You're trying to listen to your offensive line, hear checks and calls, and it can be tough. It can be tough. Fans definitely do a great job at doing that. Lucas Oil does a really good job at that. Shout out to all the Colts Nation. But I will say this, it's throughout the week having that kind of simulation of loud crowd noise, going through our cadences and understanding hey, we may have visual cues, but we may have some verbal cues as well. So just trying to use a mixture of everything we have in our toolbox in order to make sure that we have a clean operation. It's always vital.
Having Tyler Warren here, do you think that's like kind of inspired some old school in the coaching staff at the play calls? You got fullbacks, you got counters, you got halfback guys.
Definitely, and when you have a football player like that, not just not just going to say a tight end, but a football player like that, he loves to do some of the dirty work as well. Obviously, everyone loves to make plays, but when you have a guy that doesn't mind, putting his hand in the dirt, going and putting his face mask on somebody, that's that old school kind of football. Like, hey, we're going to line up, we're going to play smash mouth football. So having a little bit of that in the game plan is always fun. Yeah, he's playing at an all-time level. I mean, but I think we say that every year. I think we start saying that every year. It's really just the fact of, man, he's going to be an all-time great. But it comes from him, like I mentioned, each and every single day, coming in, going to work, finding a way to get better. Because like I mentioned, every time we speak, it's, hey, he's playing at a high level right now. Oh, yeah, he's been playing great this year. So when you do that, eventually you look at the body of work, and it's an all-time career.
One quick thing before you run, did you see the video the team posted on Daniel with the mic, where he was mic'd up?
Yes.
He wasn't talking. Obviously, intentionally over the top, but at the same time, like, that dude's a little different, right? Like, why is he like that?
He's focused on the task at hand, man. And like I said, from our position, you have to kind of be proactive on your body and making sure you combat those weaks. There's so much going through a quarterback's mind. I'm locked in, I'm focused. He's probably going through scenarios in his head. He's going through the situations. He's looking at the time on the clock, timeouts. He's thinking about what looks he just got the last drive and how is he going to combat that this drive. So I think that was a testament of how dialed in he is and focused on the task at hand every single week.
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, obviously got to know Daniel a little bit last year in Minnesota, and I was the third string inactive, and he was on practice squad, so we kind of got to bond, because we weren't really doing a whole lot out at practice. So, it's been great. He's been awesome so far, but just trying to soak in as much information as I can. This is my third offense in 6 weeks now, so just trying to learn as much as I can and get up to speed.
What was the week like? I mean, you're going to call on Monday, I assume?
Yep.
How did that, then what transpired to get you today or yesterday, whatever?
Yeah, well, I guess it was probably on Tuesday that it kind of all was getting finalized, but tried to get out on Wednesday and flight got canceled out of San Diego. So, or that was Tuesday night, so I had to fly in yesterday. So yeah, it's been a bit of a whirlwind for sure, but glad to just finally get here and get to work. Woke up 5-1, which is always a great feeling in the NFL to be a part of a winning team. So it's been great. I mean, similar pass concepts. Everybody kind of runs the same stuff, but it's just wording it differently. So it's not necessarily learning; it's more of unlearning things that I've called stuff in the past, and now we'll have different terminology here. So for me, it's just trying to tie those two together, figure out what is what, and then kind of go from there.
You see how this offense has been operating in the league. What's been your impression, I guess, early on, even personal, when it comes to meeting things like this?
Yeah, he's been awesome so far. I haven't got to watch a ton of their film yet this year, but obviously you look at the statistics and what they've done through 6 weeks. It's just been really unbelievable. So it's been great to get to know him and kind of be in meetings these last really today and kind of late into yesterday as well. So I'm just excited about it.
Minnesota and Kevin O'Connell is starting to be known as kind of like a stop, like bigger, better thing, Sam and now Daniel. What kind of positive impact does that have for you? And what is it about that play and Kevin that kind of left guys get better than the guys?
Yeah, I think Kevin's a great coach. I think he does a great job. Obviously played the position. Their offensive scheme is very, very good. They work hard and put guys in the right position, I'd say is the best thing that they do. But I would also say Sam and Daniel are great players as well, and so when you get, a great offensive mind like that together and, you get great players and put them in the right position, they're going to succeed. So, yeah.
Obviously, your uncle Mark had a lot of success in the NFL. Did he ever tell you stories about backing up Peyton Manning that one year?
Yeah, well, I mean, I was a Colts fan growing up just for that reason. That was kind of the first time I started watching football. My mom, she actually sent me a picture the other day of back in the '06 Super Bowl, I want to say, against the Bears. I had like a bunch of Colts face paint on and stuff. So, kind of a cool moment for me to be here. That was obviously like the first time I started watching football. I'm still trying to dig up some dirt on my uncle from guys that have been around here for a while. So, I'll get back to you on that. But yeah, it's exciting for sure.
Do you still have your Colts gear tucked away somewhere? I know you've outgrown it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I've outgrown it. I hope at this point, but yeah, I'm sure it's somewhere back at the house.
Shay mentioned that, I want to say his brother was like your ball boy or something. When he was,
Yeah,
do you
Chad.
remember that interaction at all? Can you give a little backstory
Yeah.
there?
I mean, I remember. I mean, I was telling him at the time. He must have been a position coach, but his older brother actually played at Boise as well. So big Boise connection there. And then I actually met his parents randomly when I was doing draft training in 2019 at a restaurant there, and they were like, "Yeah, our son's a coach in the NFL," and got to talk to them for a little while. So I met pretty much all the Steichens, it felt like, in Boise. So kind of a cool connection.
Tell the parents at the time, like, hey, well, what's up, coach? Can you give me a job?
Yeah.
How did that go?
I don't think, not at the time, but everything kind of comes full circle, I guess.
Yeah.
That's your first L in a while, what?
I know.
A good streak going.
Oh, there she is. Thanks, Caleb. Appreciate it. Thank you. Lannister always pays his debts. All right. You just going to stand here or are you going to ask me questions?
You didn't want to go full bison costume?
I told Kaylin whatever she brings, I'll wear. So this is what we got. Yeah.
Fourth quarter a little bit on Saturday. I'm sure were you watching?
I was. There was times I had to look away from the TV. That was the most stress I was watching a football game in a while. Yeah, I was sweating. Yeah.
How do you watch a game as a fan, as someone who plays?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, the guys are out there playing their tails off, and so you can't, be too passionate. You know what I mean? Things happen throughout a game. I'm there every Sunday, so I know what it feels like. Yeah, this was a tough one, at home too. But I know my Ducks are going to bounce back. We're probably going to see the Hoosiers in the playoffs. So I'll be tuned into that one for sure. Exactly. Yeah, it's hard to beat a team twice. So.
All right. So Sunday, as much as I love talking about Saturday, Herbert. What jumps out when you watch the film? The chief thing that jumps out.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like Justin's he's just gotten better each and every year he's played. Obviously he's a dynamic quarterback, smart quarterback. He's got a cannon for an arm. I mean, he's a threat with his legs. And he continues to evade the rush and make plays down the field. He's a bigger guy, bigger body, and he's really good at getting guys off of him when he's about to be sacked. I mean, that Miami game, the last drive, he shook off a defender who had a clear shot on him and made a play downfield and, set up the field goal to win the game. So, we got, as rushers, we got to do a good job with, getting him down and mainly trying to pin down that throwing arm because when he's, constantly on the tape, when he's wrapped up or whatever it is, he continues to get the ball out. So, we got to do a good job up front, containing him.
Zaire said yesterday, leading into the Rams game, that there was probably too much of an angle of the Rams being like a really tough test, that it should be that the Colts were the favorites, and that kind of wants to focus on moving forward. Did you get a sense of that? And going into this Chargers contest, they're obviously
No, yeah. I mean, Shay says all the time. You know, we're going up against a good team, but we're a good team as well. You know, and you know, the guys have all the confidence in the world in each other and what we got going on. And you know, I mean, I've said it before. You know what I mean? Fear no one, respect everyone. So, you know, we got our game plans, and we're going to go into the game trusting one another and executing.
They're down a bunch of offensive linemen. How do you approach that going into this game?
Yeah, obviously studying, you know, all the possibilities, all the different guys that they've thrown in the rotation, and you know, so we're not surprised on, you know, who's up or whatever it is, and we know, you know, kind of our own rush plans against those certain guys that are going to be thrown in the mix. So, you know, up front, we got to take advantage of our opportunities when we get them, and you know, obviously just constantly be a pain in the butt for Herbert.
But what do you think this defense is? Like fourth is points allowed per game, but third down's kind of been kind of rough. The yards probably aren't where you want to see.
Yeah.
So how do you weigh those?
Yeah, you know, just honestly on those third downs, it's just, you know, pure execution. You know what I mean? And executing what we got up, you know, on that play, and guys being in the spots they need to be, and also, you know, rush lane integrity. So, you know, those are the things that we can fix to clean up and get off on third down.
As a captain, how important is the standard that Quentin sets just for the locker room as a whole?
No, yeah, I mean, you know, Q is, you know, he's a professional on and off the field, and he sets the standard each and every day. And, you know, obviously as leaders, we all got to uphold the standard and, you know, never waver from it. You know, that's how we get better and continue to get better as a team. And so, you know, each and every day we just go and approach, and, you know, I always talk about it with some of the guys, you know, getting 1% better, you know, whatever it is, and just finding a way to continue to grow as a player, as a teammate, and we can take this, you know, this thing to new heights.
Do you think the pass rush is close to a little more consistency? Because I mean, you know, you guys get there and it kind of ebbs and flows sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think it's close. You know, we know we got the guys in the room to go do it, and you know, it's just based off of, you know, certain calls on what you know what's asked of us and things like that. And you know, I think we're very close.
About a little off the wall, what do you remember about Naheem Hines?
Oh, Naheem, he was a.
Down there by you in the locker room.
Yeah, no, Naheem was a dynamic player. You know, especially on third down. You know, getting him in there, lining him up in the slot to run some option routes and things like that. And you know, obviously he had a lot of speed, and he was a good teammate. You know, and Naheem was one of those guys in the locker room that, you know, he connected with everybody, and yeah, I mean, he was a special player.
About that third and last question, Kevin, you and Quiddy kind of combined on it on Sunday. What did you see on that play? Obviously, it wasn't the initial rush that maybe necessarily got Jacoby down.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it was one of those rare moments where we had you know, a true four-man rush, and you know, usually in the red zone we want to be more, you know, kind of lane integrity wise, you know, kind of caging the quarterback, keeping him in the pocket. But you know, I just had a call to play a simple game to try and get after him, be more aggressive, and, you know, get him off the spot. And we ended up doing that, you know, twice in a row, and I feel like it helped out in the end.